Now, there are different types of graphs, but overall, what good graphs? How do we produce good graphs? What are the things that we need to keep in mind? Again, it's an art form. It's not an exact science, but good graphs are always clear and well labeled. Think about, do I have titles on my graph? Do I have access titles on my graph? Do I need to have those additional labels like on top of the bars, like those data point labels? Maybe, maybe not, but think about that. Good graphs are concise and informative. Think about, why are you doing the graph? What is the purpose of the graph? And based on that, try and focus the reader on the substance, what you want them to extract from it, not the form, not the pretty color or the whatever it is. Now, we use color, we use nice pictures, we use all of that to help make it more attractive. But fundamentally, it's about the substance. What is the information you're trying to convey? Then we use nice colors and help it out. But it's not just all about fancy, nice colors that look good, but don't display the information. That's not okay. So step one, we want to be concise, informative, focus on the substance. Then we make it look pretty. Now, generally good graphs encourage comparisons between categories, trends over time. Usually that's what we're looking at because visually our eyes are very good at picking comparisons. And finally, good graphs should be accurate. They should not be misleading. We should use accurate figures. And when we talk about ethics, we'll talk a little bit more about that. So, graphical techniques. There's a saying in English that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and that's very true here. So we're trying to summarize a lot of information. It would have taken tables and lots of text to convey this, but we show one graph and the reader can quickly see all that information. Now, as managers, you're time poor. So this is really helpful to you to find out that information quickly and efficiently, to communicate it with your team, with your bosses, with other managers. So really think about, when you're writing reports, whatever you're doing, is there a graph here? When you're presenting data, is there a graph that might be a nice way to present this that will quickly and easily communicate this information? When you're asking people to prepare and do some data analysis for you, tell them to think about, hey, I would like to see these results in a graph because that's easier for me to quickly see it. Then give me all the other information and the backup information, but a nice summary graph can do a lot of good. But we need to use the right graph. So we've seen bar and pie charts, really good when we can break things down into categories and either focus on the contribution to the whole or comparing the different categories. We looked at histogram for quantitative variables, numerical variables, for numbers, breaking them into categories. Then we can look at frequencies or relative frequencies. We looked at line plots for a time series graph, so we could see what was happening over time. Finally, we looked at a scatter plot to see the relationship between two graphs. But now, it's time to actually do this in Excel. So now that we've seen these, let's have a play in Excel to make sure we can calculate them and produce them in Excel. Good news is, very easy. So not too difficult, but there's lots of different options. So you need to spend some time in playing around to see what's happening.